Hello and welcome to the Technomancer. We are back after freeing the Mutant Valley, and you may have noticed we've had a bit of a wardrobe change. Now, I'm going to try to go over this really quickly and explain the details without going too much into it. Basically, there was a series. I got access to the new crafting merchant, so I was able to craft tier 3 upgrades, and that merchant also happens to sell like really good gear, like the best gear you can find in the game, basically. So what I did was I bought, well, first I took the 2 machetes that we found. I took the one for me and I gave it critical chance, so now we have like just an innate 30% chance every time we swing, plus all the other bonuses we have. So we're basically, I think we have like almost a 50-50 chance every time we take a swing with a dagger that we might crit. I also, the one I gave to Nisha, I upgraded to actually have armor ignoring. It has disruption and armor ignoring, which means that every time she swings, she just has a chance of ignoring armor. For the gun, I left her gun alone. I actually bought a new gun, the sniper gun. It's not that much different from the durable gun that we already had before. The only difference is that it does a little bit more damage, but it maintains that cooldown speed, which is super important. And yes, we do have a 33% chance of critting, which is super awesome. Again, that's like with all of our bonuses stacked on top, that's like almost a 50% chance every time we take a shot. For our legs, we're sporting the Kane's trousers, which do not have energy regeneration like our Technomancer pants did, but instead give us a resistance to electricity and poison. For our feet, we bought some Noctis Raider Gaiters, which actually, I believe, decreases our physical resistance by 1, the same way that Kane's trousers did as well, but it gives us another 5% increase to poison resistance. We have a respirator mask now, which gives us a little bit more physical resistance than our old mask did, and it gives us, yet again, more resistance to poison. Can you see a theme going on here? And then we actually did commit and put that 1 point that we'd banked before, 1 point into Constitution. So what that did, that gave us a little bit more hit points, that gave us a little bit more resistance to disruption, and it increased our max load by 50, you know, whatever units we're talking about here. But the big thing is it lets us wear this jacket. Now the jacket is only 22. You say, well, the armor that we were wearing before was 20, so it's not that big of an upgrade. And if you look at disruption, we're actually a lot less protected from disruption, but we have a 20% resistance to poison. And that's the big thing. In case you can't tell, we're stacking poison. The reason we're stacking poison resistance is because the final boss, just kind of out of nowhere, has a huge poison attack that he does. And having resistance to that is going to make our lives a lot easier. If we don't have it, it can bring you a great deal of pain. So we are preparing for it as much as we can. The net total, we gained like just a tiny little bit more physical resistance, but we lost almost all of our, in fact we lost all of our passive juice regeneration. But that doesn't matter because, like, check this out. Anytime we want, we've got 105 of these force injections. It just instantly refills, and it just comes right back. So anytime we need that focus regeneration, we got it on command. So I'm not too concerned about that. But we didn't gain a lot of physical resistance. Now the other guys, on the other hand, we bought Nisha a Savage helmet, which gives her 7. We bought Andrew with the protective mask, which gives him the same, but only requires 2. We actually left his staff alone, but I actually went and upgraded. When he gets to strength 3, I have a staff that I've fully upgraded for him. I bought it at the store. It's I'll show you. It's like the rusted steel pipe. Yeah, rusty iron staff, which is sporting because I dumped everything into disruptions. Basically, anytime he hits someone, they're going to get knocked over. For Nisha, I told you I gave her the other dagger. I'm letting her keep the advanced disruptor gun. For their pants, I bought militia pants from the store, and I upgraded them for physical resistance. I'm letting her keep the Kane's boots. And Andrew, I have him rocking the militiaman boot that he found before. We could also buy those at the store. Now, the big important thing that I want to talk about is their armor. So Nisha's rocking the militiaman breastplate, fully upgraded for physical resistance. It requires a strength of 3, and it gives her a 27% physical resistance, which is the second highest in the game, and a 55% disruption. Andrew only has a 50%, but he has a 29, and it only takes him 2 strength. So I want to make this very, very clear. You actually, to get the strongest amount of physical resistance in the game, you only need 2 strength. You don't need 3 strength. So I'm not sure why the game decided to go that route. It seems very, 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 very strange that having that extra point of strength does not unlock significantly better armor. But whatever. And as you can look at what their physical resistance is compared to mine, they're a lot stronger. And that just kind of makes sense. You know, if you're not packing on the muscle, you're going to get punched in the face harder than the people that have some heft behind them to cushion the blow. For Amelia, we've given her the Officer's Reinforced Shield and the Saw Mace. These are both things that I picked up. I didn't bother upgrading them. And we gave her the Militiaman's Helmet that we found earlier. And for Scott, we put the Marauder's Mask that Andrew was wearing on him. And that's about it. I don't plan on using Scott virtually at all in a combat role. And Amelia, we're going to have to use her a handful of times, but I'm not too concerned. So these guys basically got leftovers. So that explains our really groovy wardrobe change that we've experienced. And this is, and I also took the liberty of upgrading the Vori jacket just a little bit in case I ever decide to walk around and I need to make sure I pick those level 3 chests. So, without further ado, in our last episode, we rescued the Mutant Valley, we installed Phobos as the leader, and he suggested the best way to attack Victor is to attack him on political grounds. And so what we need to do is gather allies that can support us in our bid to take him down through subterfuge. But while we do that, we also need to do our Technomancer tradition of talking to everyone and doing lots of side quest shit. So we're going to pick up as much as we can and try to get it knocked out as efficiently as we've been doing throughout the game.
Greetings, Zachariah.
I think it's time I answered Victor's constant attacks. I'm gonna need help, though.
That's what family is for, Zachariah. We are family, united by the mutual suffering inflicted by Victor. His time to pay for all he's done has come. We are united in that.
Oh, right. So we've got the Technomancers backing us. Do you have anything to say, Phobos?
Greetings, Zachariah. It is good to see you again. How have you been getting on since I left?
I've been doing pretty good.
Is there something I can do for you?
Okay, no, so he doesn't have anything. So we're going to get all our mutant quests from Scum.
Hi.
Zachariah, to what do I owe this privilege?
I'm looking for some mutants on their way back from the canyons. I want to thank them for helping me find my friend Scott. Thank them and ask a few questions.
The group I think you are speaking of are nomadic. They go to the canyons and live off the currency of the information they can gather, selling it to your Prince of Noctis. I can show you where they reside if you would like.
I'd appreciate that.
All right. Do you have any quests for us?
Zachariah, to
Okay.
what?
Oh, and what he was talking about there, when we saved Scott, he had the shit beat out of him, which made it difficult for him to talk. So we never found out why he was there in the first place. So now we have to investigate behind his back instead of just asking him. I'm not sure why, but that's just what the game wants us to do. So that's what we're going to do. Give us some work, please.
I'm looking for work. You need help with anything?
Our nation is just beginning. There is enough work for 1 billion men. For example, an old, worn-down pump at one of our artesian wells has stopped working. And where it is, a creature lurks, terrifying our workers, keeping them from the repairs. If you could, get rid of the creature and make the repairs. You may need a good mechanic, unless you are able to repair it on your own.
Let me see what I can do.
We should be able to take care of it ourselves because we have a crafting of 3. But if not, we can turn around. Well, we got a crafting of 3 when we have this equipped. But if not, we can turn around and grab Amelia. And if we do, I'll edit that part out. So we got our first couple of quests. There's someone else that we need to talk to. We need to talk to this merchant up here. And I believe he needs us to get him some goods to make bombs. Yeah. We're actually kind of drawing into the end of this game, which is it's pretty exciting. Not quite yet. You know, we still got, of course, we've still got like a shit ton of side quests to do. Now, I'm just kidding. Not that many more, but we do have a couple, so we're gonna get working on those.
Hi. You wanted to talk?
I did, yes, I did. I've heard many people say, even though you are human, you're a good person. Many say that without you, they would still be in the pen. I thought maybe you too could help me.
Depends. What do you need help with?
Yes, well, we weapons. To have any hope of helping our brothers held captive, we must be armed. I was given orders to arm a squad, but I have nothing to arm them with. And in Noctis, such things are far too expensive for us. But since I was told you travel, if on one of your trips you could find and bring us back a box or two.
Sure.
I can try. Sure, I could get my hands on some in Ophir somewhere.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sure it would be a great help for us.
I was thinking of a different mission. Okay, steal weapons from the barracks store. Okay, so just another thing to do back in grand old Ophir. Steal high resistance guns from the abundant soldiers. Okay, that's gonna be easy. That's literally just gonna be doing what we always do, which is beating the crap out of people and then taking their stuff. What do you guys think about the Mutant Valley? I think this place is pretty cool. I love the music, by the way. I just can't help but notice that there is a...
Door's blocked on the other side. Gotta find another path.
There is a great deal of open area, and since apparently the sun can kill you with just a few rays, I can't help but be a little concerned for the people living in this valley. Yeah, but maybe not. Like, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm finding like little inconsistencies because they very much established that the sun's touch is very, very bad. Like atomic radiation melts your face off bad. So I just think it's a little weird that they have this big open area in this game and they have no explanation as to why these people can live there. I mean, yeah, they're mutants, so they're maybe more resistant to it, but that doesn't mean they're immune to it. Anyway, those are just side thoughts. A few more little things to go along with the rest of the story. And you're gonna see, as we continue, things are gonna kind of go in a weird direction you might not expect, and that's, you know, that's just how it is. But we've gotten this far. We're gonna take this thing to completion. Now these are the guys that saw Scott. So let's see if they know anything about him.
Hey,
Hello. How are you?
someone told me about you, so I wanted to come say thanks. Your instructions helped me save my friend.
I'm just happy you got there in time. We would have helped ourselves, but feared letting humans know free mutants roam around.
Don't blame you. You see what led to all of that? By the time I got there, they tortured my friend, and the Technomancer in charge was leaving.
Found himself surrounded by the Technomancer and his soldiers. He wanted to know where they could find a man named Zachariah. You, I suppose.
What did he tell him?
Not the answer you are scared he gave. He said nothing of your location. Instead, he told this other Technomancer that he knew who he was, but it did not seem to matter. The question was asked again. This time your friend screamed back that he knew who he was, and that they must listen to him. That is when they began to beat him, and he began to scream for mercy. Mercy that would not come. Even as he screamed that he could do something for them. The violence only grew. That is when we ran to warn Dandolo. What he was offering to do for them, I do not know. He never said. But it did not matter anyway. All they wanted to know was where you were. Nothing else to them mattered. The torture lasted for hours. Your friend may be not all there, but his loyalty cannot be doubted.
Thanks. And thank you for going to Dandolo.
Of course.
So apparently this is the group that went to... They warned Dandolo, so that's how Dandolo found out about it and warned us at the end of Chapter 2. Although I have to say that doesn't quite make sense to me, because that means that Scott would have literally been there being, like, beaten for days, days and days, before we got to him and we were able to rescue him. Not only that, but it means that those people, they saw him, they warned Dandolo, and then somehow they ended back up in the same area, trapped and needing rescue from the Toad guy. So maybe this is a separate group than the group that we rescued? I'm not sure, actually. Interesting. Yeah, I think it must be a different group than the group that we rescued, because the other way doesn't make sense. Whoop. I remember how this went last time. We're gonna be a little bit more careful. But luckily, we don't have to worry about poison as much. Yeah, see, he was much easier to take care of than the other guy. That's mostly because he wasn't a dramatic story boss, so he was just a lot easier to deal with. Let's see what's in the chest there. Weighted Kosh. Wow. So that's good stuff if I ever find someone that has Strength 5. If you use Amelia a lot, you could get her to Strength 5, I guess. But, good luck actually getting to that point. I don't plan on using her, to be honest, so. They'll probably just sit in my inventory. I'll stash it, like I won't throw it away, but I'm not gonna find great use for it. And also, very interesting, we actually see like grass and stuff growing here. Like actual, well maybe not grass. This is, to me, this looks more like, I guess the closest thing would be like a reef or some kind of polyp. But it's something, right? It looks like they're harvesting it for agricultural purposes. So it could mean that there's a future for the people living on Mars growing these kinds of things. But anyway, we've arrived to the well, and hopefully, without Amelia in the party, we'll be able to figure out what we need to do to fix it. Let's see. So I remember last time.
Found the well and pump. It's beat to hell though. Gonna take a lot of materials to get it going again. Definitely can't replace it. Or maybe there are similar types of equipment in the generators used by the cities. Gotta be one in Ophir and Noctis, even if the folks there aren't gonna be happy about ruining their machines. Scott, thanks for coming. Please have a seat. I'm just trying to understand something.
Ah, a scientific query. Let us engage.
No, not quite. I just wanted to understand what you were doing with Alan under that shadow path. A couple mutants saw you and said you told Alan that you knew what he was, and that you could do... Of course, the jackass didn't give a damn. All he wanted to know was where we were. But what the hell were you trying to do, Scott?
Do? I wasn't doing. I was doing something, but not what. There are opportunities in life. He might have become an ally, a great Technomancer. Even if you're not friends, he could. I was. Mistake.
Alright, so I think my mic just cut out there for a while, so I apologize if there was silence. But now we need to try to convince him, and it's actually not that hard, so we just talk about Charles's research.
Charles told me about his research, what he discovered. I know you read it and know our secret. That you know exactly what we are, and that you were about to tell Alan.
I believed. Who would guess he would be so stupid as to not listen to all I had to say? But I guess now is the time I should start explaining. It is a rather laborious story, some of which you know, some of which it was 17 years ago, with our corporation's unparalleled obsession with the perfect man. I found myself ensconced in gene research. My son, my flesh and blood son. I loved that child, cherished him like nothing else, but my work stole time from him, more and more, and when he was diagnosed with symptoms of the mutation, I disintegrated. As the best geneticist in abundance, I ensconced myself in research of its genome, discovering its mutation, and I heard whispers of tests the settlers had made, because they, too, had been coping with the chaotic mutative effects of the radiation. So, my friend, Mark, delivered me to a distant city, remote, nearly unlivable. I stayed there, poring through their documents until one day, I uncovered their work on a therapy which had only a singular side effect.
It modified the human body's electrical production.
Precisely. Technomancers are the result of a controlled genetic manipulation. Mutations instigated to protect us from more erratic mutations created by the radiation. A discovery I found myself racing to try out on my son. But first, I needed test subjects. So I volunteered to heal children in the slums. Found 2 young boys there to test its efficacy. And lo and behold, it worked.
Andrew and me.
Yes, yes. Your abilities were gained thanks to my experiments, but that was not all that was gained. I had proof that I could replicate the therapy, and that, you know, now could resist other forms of mutations. From there, well, I secured a research budget from the military, who in turn assured me they would return my son. But for him, it was too late. The experiment failed to help him, and I found myself with little choice but to end his suffering, rather than see him in a life of slavery, the life of a monster. And to the military, because I could not yet reveal what I knew, as I knew not yet what you were to become. Saw only my failure. I lost everything. Found myself socially exiled. And when Andrew's death came, you, Zachariah, became my only chance for success. My only chance to regain my past glory. So, I kept close to you for all these years. Until you finally became a Technomancer. My success. A chance for me to win back my approval. Glory within abundance. I would be the man who created Technomancers. We needed to escape. By seeing Alan, I had hoped to fix that. That they might take you back, and in turn, I might... Madness had overtaken me. Greed. Instead of being proud of my success in you, I only wanted more and more, and... Forgive me.
Leave me alone. Please.
Wow! So that is a huge revelation of all the different stuff that's been going on in the story so far. So, we now have clarification more on what we've been finding out in Amelia's backstory, that Scott did have a son. His son was a mutant. He actually had his son recalled, and he killed him himself. So that's when we found that military order in Chapter 2 from Amelia's story in the archives. That's what that was about. But more importantly, that Zachariah and Andrew are artificial technomancers. They were created by Scott's experiments. And not only that, but because of their experiments, they're now immune to other forms of mutation. They could have become like these kinds of mutants here. Who knows? But because of the treatment, they were protected. Instead, they developed Technomancer powers, which is amazing. That's incredible. So, you know, like, there you go. There's a really cool backstory there, and this very sad, tragic story for Scott. There may be more to it yet, though. We'll see. So now let's head to Noctis, and we're not going to steal but we're going to turn in that shield toad skin that we got. We're going to find Gloria for whatever her face is. We're going to find Gloria for Nisha, and then we're going to talk to Dandolo about getting his support. And we're going to skip past this. So this is mostly going to be turning stuff in. And then we want to try to hit up as much stuff as we can for when we take our trip to Abundance and secure support for our tactical moves. We're going to have to keep going back to Abundance again and again and again. And I've said this before, it's one of the greatest weaknesses of this game. It relies on using too few areas, and it doesn't really introduce new areas that often.
And how do you figure that?
Let's just say I've gotten a little peek into Nisha's world. If she was just an acquaintance, I don't think the backstabbing would have been taken so personally.
Another thing, too, they paint Nisha out to be like this badass super spy, but she just seems kind of... I mean, she seems nice, but she definitely doesn't seem like a killer spy that she's been made out to be.
Hey, Brad.
Zachariah, how's the hunting?
Got your last specimen.
Tell me you did! The shield toad skin. Wonderful. Oh, what you have done for science. You are invaluable. I am forever indebted. You've given me years of study, and when I finally publish, you, my friend, will find your name in the acknowledgments.
Thanks for that. I'm more interested in the experience. We don't really care about serum anymore now that we've bought all our upgrades. That was the shield toad the skin that we got from the shield toad that we fought to save that mutant colony before. Now let's see where Dandolo is. Here he is. I keep forgetting that he's always crouching here. Let's see if he'll give us some support to take down Victor.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
I need allies to fight Victor in the ASC.
Then you came to the right place. The bastard came to our doorstep and threatened us. Sent thugs to capture one of our own who came in peace, seeking refuge. There's not a day that goes by that he doesn't grab and gain more power. The time's come to bring Victor down. You not only have me on your side, Mancer, but all of Noctis.
All right. That was really easy. So we could return now if we wanted to, but instead we have the option of getting more allies, which will, I believe it changes the ending. So we're not going to return and initiate that part of it just yet. Now, if you look here, you see that exclamation point, you'll be like, well, how do I get there? Do I go out here? Maybe there's like a ladder over here that I missed. Maybe I need to go up on it and approach it from a different side. No. There actually is a secret door right here that's really hidden from your view. It took me a little while to find it. And even when you stand, you have to stand in a perfect spot to access it.
Gloria, you are... Oh no.
Nisha, don't stay here. You shouldn't.
Zach, I'm not a child. Let me listen. I have to know. I have to... Nisha, I heard that you had left Ophir, that you come back here often now. I know that I won't be able to see you and tell you all this in person. I don't have the courage for it. So I hope that someone will give you this message, that you will listen to this and that you will forgive me. I did something awful, something that haunts me every day, every instant. Something with which I cannot live today. You have always been strong, so much more brilliant, prettier. And me, I was in your shadow. And I felt that I was suffocating. So I went to see a man, a thief. I knew that he could plant false evidence and that he turned in people to the ASC. I said that you knew some things about their trafficking, that you were dangerous to them. And it worked. Too well, because they came to arrest our whole group. And during all those years spent with you in the camp, I knew that we were here because of me. When I saw how they were torturing you, when Nick died, I also wanted to die, but they refused. Today, I still carry the weight of my mistake and I can't bear it anymore. So farewell, Nisha. Farewell and forgive me. Your sister, Gloria.
I'm sorry, Nisha. Come on, let's go. I'll take care of the funeral. Don't worry.
Well, that's the end of that arc.
I'm sorry, Nisha. If I can help or, you know, need to talk, I'm here. If you need it. Anything.
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew.
Okay, so we got that knocked out. Let's talk to her.
I wanted to thank you for all your help, Zach. Not saying I needed it or, you know, but having you beside me and all. It was, it made it, it's just, you're a good guy, Zach. And it doesn't hurt that the good guy's got a face like yours. Maybe, you know, later, if you had time, we could meet up. Just the two of us.
Okay, sure. Mass Effect sex scene, let's do it.
I'd be lying if I didn't think that was a great idea. Next break we have.
Good. Then I'll be seeing you in your room soon. Clothing's optional.
Alright, and now we can do Andrew's quest.
Hey. Hey, back. Hey, sorry about earlier. What did you want to talk about? Thanks to you and Scott, I got my abilities back. Doesn't make me a Technomancer, though, does it? Doesn't make me one of you. And I know you all go through a lot of training together, which I never had. Everything I know was picked up from an old renegade Technomancer who showed me some of the basics. Had to trade it for a little serum. But I'm tired of being on the outside. I just want to belong. If you, I guess, think I'm worthy or whatever.
You're right, Andrew. Maybe it is time to initiate you.
How painful is it?
Guess you'll see. We obviously can't use the old sight anymore, so you'll need some imagination. We can give it a go. Come on.
Go to the Lost Dome. Okay, we'll do that next. We need to take a nap, though, and maybe initiate some of this Nisha sex thing going on.
Zach? Want some company?
Hell yeah, baby girl.
Yours.
Wham! Head slam, sorry. I can't help but notice, too, the way how the masks are really rooting these intimate scenes. But anyway, enjoy the porn. Oh, they don't take their armor off? That's, uncomfortable. I think it would have been funnier if they did it with the masks on. But yeah.
I think I'm falling in love.
Then you say yes.
I may be too.
And then you get an achievement. Yay! Yay! We got an achievement for falling in love. Okay, let's head to... Well, no, we can't head to the dome yet. We need to do something else. We need to figure out... I don't think we can go to the dome. Well, here. Basically, here's the deal. I can't remember where, but at some point we find out... Oh, yeah, Patience is at the old dome. So we want to do Andrew's quest when... Let's see... Wait to find out where Patience has been taken. Okay, so... We'll do that part later. So instead, you know what? We'll cut the episode here. We'll do Andrew's shit later. And next time I meet you, we'll head over to Abundance and start getting some work done over there. Until next time, though, I'm Twinkle. I'll see you later.